Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really clever solution for a huge problem. How do you make AI a focused, powerful tool for learning inside a classroom instead of just, well, a massive distraction? We're going to break down how a few smart tweaks can totally reshape a technology.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. This is the big question facing pretty much every educator right now. We've got this incredible AI technology, but you have to remember, its normal interface is built for wide-open exploration, which is often the exact opposite of what you need in a structured lesson. This solution, though, it tackles that problem head-on.
So this brings us to the core conflict, what we're calling the Classroom AI Challenge. And it's a classic balancing act, potential versus peril. On one side, AI could be an absolute game changer for education, but on the other, it could also be a huge, huge problem.
So think about it. On one hand, you have the promise, right? It could be like a personal tutor for every single student, a research assistant that can break down complex ideas, even a creative partner. But then you flip that coin and the standard interface is just a minefield of distractions. You've got old chat histories, the button to start a brand new, unrelated conversation, or even the power to just completely change the core instructions the teacher just gave.
Now here's what I think is so cool about this particular solution. It's not about building some fancy, new, expensive educational platform from the ground up. Nope. It's all about intelligently modifying what schools are already using every single day. The source document just nails it here. It calls this approach a golden solution, precisely because it works with the tech infrastructure schools already have in place. It's not some massive revolution that needs new budgets and weeks of training. It's just a really, really smart evolution.
And this is the crucial part. All the necessary pieces are already on the chessboard. Schools have the Chromebooks, they've got a management extension, something like ClassroomGo, already installed. And teachers already know how to push links to students for their assignments. So this isn't some massive overhaul. It's just a brilliant feature update.
So how does this whole thing kick off? How do you take this wide-open AI and lock it down into a focused learning tool? Well, it all starts with a simple, almost elegant little trick that's hidden inside a web link.
The process is actually amazingly simple. The teacher sends out a link, but it has this little extra bit of code tacked onto the end. Classroom mode equals true. Now, the ClassroomGo extension on the student's browser is always watching, and when it sees that specific tag, it knows, okay, this isn't just casual browsing, this is class time. And it immediately injects a script that completely transforms the entire user experience.
And once that mode is triggered, the digital lockdown begins. The source document calls this a guy, which is such a cool term. It basically means a magical modification of the interface. And it's like a two-pronged attack designed to surgically remove every possible distraction from the page.
So it uses these two really clever techniques. First up is CSS injection. You can think of this like an invisibility cloak. It instantly hides all the distracting buttons and sidebars the second the page starts to load. But what if the page tries to bring those distractions back later? Well, that's where the second technique comes in. It's called a mutation observer. But really, it's just a persistent guard, constantly watching the page and immediately slapping down anything that tries to pop back into view.
And what exactly gets hidden? Well, pretty much everything that isn't absolutely essential for the lesson. That whole sidebar with old chats? Gone. The button to start a new off-topic chat? Gone. The ability to switch to a different AI model or to edit the teacher's original prompt? All gone. The whole point is to remove every possible escape route, which forces the student to stay completely focused on the task the teacher gave them.
Okay, so that's the tech behind it. But what does this actually look like in practice? Let's check out the before and after, because the transformation from a tool of distraction to a tool of focus, it's pretty dramatic.
So first, here's the normal Gemini interface. It's powerful, it's flexible, no doubt, but for a student in a classroom, it is just full of digital rabbit holes. Every single one of those links on the sidebar is a potential off-ramp from the actual lesson. And now, this is what you get with the security script running. It's clean, it's simple, it's minimalist. There is literally nothing to click on except the conversation that matters right now. It takes the interface from that digital Wild West to a focused digital learning zone.
And that's really the whole point, isn't it? By just stripping away all the extra options, you can guide the student's attention and make sure they're using this powerful AI for its intended educational purpose. You get pretty much 100% focus on the assigned conversation.
So, if we boil this all down, what are the big takeaways? First, you don't always need to build new tools from scratch. Sometimes a magical modification of a platform you already have is all you need.
Second, something as simple as a little tag on a URL can trigger a completely different and safer user experience. And finally, when you combine simple web technologies, you can create a surprisingly tough and effective result.
And all of this leaves us with one last big thought. This principle is so powerful and so simple, it really begs the question. If we can do this for a super complex AI chat interface, what other everyday apps and websites out there desperately need their own focused, distraction-free classroom mode?